Welcome along to Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you by the coaches and clients of RT Fitness Durham, Sunderland, and of course the Barbell Club, where we take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready. If you need any information on our programs, there's going to be a link below straight to my Instagram. Just click on there and just drop us a DM if you need anything at all. On today's episode, Matty is a coach here with us in our Durham unit. Absolute top bloke and very, very inquisitive. So he's taken the hot seat today and he's asking me questions about parts of my journey from starting in the fitness industry, and also just some random questions in there, my thoughts. Like honestly, with Matty, he always likes to ask questions. So it was like, yeah, let's chuck you in the hot seat, me in the hot seat today, and let Matty take control. So take a watch, enjoy the show, share it, like the page, all of the rest of it, and yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Just start.
Right.
There we go.
Okay. Right, so today we're going to be interviewing Ross. So Ross is going to be in the hot seat for once in this podcast, and yeah, so be a few questions going over. He hasn't seen them, so there's no preparation. It's just totally off the fly or off the cuff.
I know,
so first
you're in my seat.
I am in your seat. So first one, how do you find your passion?
You dick. So totally deep end straight away. How do you find your passion?
Or do you not believe in passion? So I'll kind of build on it first and then see what you think. So some people think passion isn't something that you just have, it's something that you're going to create over time of not being good at something for so long. So that's what Mosey says, for example. And then some people, maybe in your story, maybe you found like a moment where you did find your passion. So what's your opinion on that? Can you find a passion? Do you believe in it? Do you not believe in it?
I think from like probably my journey in itself, say compared to somebody else, say somebody's passion's computer games. They're not going to make a fucking living off computer games if they're a 30-year-old bloke. Do you know what I mean? I think from a passion from like say a business, creating a business standpoint from there is more of an organic process, because yes, like my passion was getting into shape, understanding it all, and then into MMA from there as well, and then from strength and conditioning from there, but it was never to the point of helping people. So the passion was there beforehand, rather than like saying, oh, this is my passion, I'm going to make money off it. Do you know what I mean? So it went like...
So it was your passion to improve yourself rather than being a coach or entrepreneur in the business, in this space or whatever.
Yeah.
It was more
100%.
about just, actually I like to train. Is that what it was?
I like to train, I like to understand things, and then it was breaking down. Probably, I'll tell you what, just in that segment what I said there, say from the MMA side of things, the strength and conditioning was bad at the place where I was going. So I took that upon myself to really dive deep into it. Obviously YouTube was just quite new then, because it was a long time ago, Matthew. And studying all the things from there, and then just like copying it basically, copying it and then putting it into practice, and then teaching some of the other athletes about it. Yeah. And same again with the nutrition side of things. It was like, I'm learning all this to help myself, but then it was like, I found the passion for teaching, even though I didn't see I was going to be a coach or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
So is that where the coaching switch started for you?
Probably. It was in that time as well where the lads who I worked with, like they actually introduced me to the MMA. Like, we're going to MMA. Like, but then I followed it through and kept going, and like I ended up being the only person left. But then I wasn't going to the gym with them, so then they started to pay, and I didn't have much money. Like I was paying for the MMA stuff, so it was like then they said like, come to the gym and we'll pay your gym membership.
Really?
Yeah, so so they were paying for my gym membership to like weight training with them, and then I was just coaching them through. But even then I didn't like think, oh, this could be a career. It probably wasn't until I seen somebody else making money off it. And it was like,
Opened your eyes a bit.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like the penny drops. Is that?
Katie Bulmer, who was on the podcast.
Oh really? Is that the pads? Cool.
That was what?
Is that the one who did the pads or?
She does do pad work. Yeah, she does. Yeah. Cracking lass. So it's like she married one of my friends at the time, and saying like, gosh, she could do that. But then even then, it wasn't like I'm gonna go do it. The penny dropped was when somebody at work, Wayne, who was my like boss at work, he was doing tattoo studio and from his house, and it was like, I need to get out of this. Like I need to find something else where I can make money off or whatever else. And he says, well, why don't you just do personal training? And that's when it like a click. And it was like, right, I did loads of overtime that month, fucking bought loads of equipment, asked my dad if I could train people from my garage, and literally within a month I was training people.
Amazing. So your opinion on the passion thing is it just comes and gets you, and it's something that maybe it's the thing that you enjoy doing without getting paid, because all that time you were working jobs and stuff like that. Obviously we're not getting to the nuance of what you were doing, but working jobs in factories and stuff like that, and then the thing that you actually did enjoy, it clicked. You were like, this is actually what I want to do. Is that what it was for you?
From obviously getting fat working abroad when I was 21, and then that was when the journey started, but it wasn't until I was, when did I actually start to coach people? Until I was 20, how old am I now? 27, I think, by the time that. So that's like a 6-year period before it even, like that was the passion. The passion was that 6-year period, and then the passion obviously evolved for people asking us to coach them. And then it was like, right, and then it was friends and family from the garage, and then obviously people's boot camps in their own back gardens, and then blah, blah, blah.
Amazing. Class. No, that's good. I think that's a good insight into like other ways of people can find passion, stuff like that. But that ties into like a really nice subject, something that I do know about you already. Should you expect people to support you very early on?
Yes and no. Because I think obviously if the passion was there, people are going to believe in you more. And podcasts were quite new then. And in work, I had a headphone stuck in my head, like listen to podcasts, listen to any single thing I could. So my passion was super high with it. So I think then if people see that passion, I think they're willing to support you more. But if you've done, say, an 8-week transformation somewhere else, and then saying, I'm going to be a PT now, I don't think you've earned it from your friends and family, because like you've probably done a load of them before and you've only getting in shape this one time. So it's like
I like that. So you've got to earn it.
I think you've got to earn it.
Yeah, I like that. So obviously, I don't know if you remember. So you told me a while ago, someone at work, when you started to go in the garage and do your personal training, someone said something along the lines of, that's not going to work out. Do you remember the exact thing it was? Do you want to mention that?
Yeah. So he basically says you'll always be a factory cat. That was the exact words, and that was because I posted that I was going to be a personal trainer. I wasn't qualified at the time, neither, and I just put it out there. It was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'll do my qualifications alongside it, and that was like a bit of a let's fucking go.
So it even gave you more motivation to do it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, people who know obviously that story, it's like it was like a little fire in me stomach to do it.
Definitely.
And I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. No,
but by the way, that's not even just like, I think thinking back, probably was my mindset at the time, because I'm a completely different person to where I was then. It's like, I'll fucking show you. But like now, if it's something like that, like if I think back, it's like, I can help us with the fire, but like I don't resent them for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? It's probably helped.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, so high five.
Yeah. So no, I like that. So shouldn't necessarily expect people to root for you. Just prove it to them. Is that the summary of that?
I mean, if it's always I always quote in all of our groups the Paul Moore quote: "Do what you said you would do."
Yeah.
And like, if you're fucking going to say you're going to be a personal trainer, or you're going to follow it through, then follow it through, because probably these people out there who do have these passions for little things, like this isn't generalising everybody, but like they've probably said it loads of times about all these little ventures they're going to do and all the rest of it, and it's like they've never followed it through. This is the only venture I fucking said I was going to do. Like I've never, prior to that, I'm going to be a millionaire fucking doing this scheme, or I'm going to open a shop or anything like that. This is the only thing I've ever said I would do, and I followed it through.
Yeah, you do see that a lot in the fitness industry as well, of like, even clients have all saying what they want to do, whether it's on that first phone call or like, I want to be here, here and here. But it is all talk sometimes, you know, like you've got to back it up. You've really got to prove that. You can't just say something and not back it up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right, so
I could definitely go on for that one, but yeah, go for it.
So the next one, it kind of ties into it. You could link it together, but do you think, so this is again quite a deep one maybe, something that I don't think you've been asked, but do you think there's a cost to being exceptional?
Am I exceptional?
Maybe. No, of course, in the industry.
Is there a cost to being exceptional?
Had a gym for over 10 years, I think that would be an exception.
Only if you feel as though you're missing out on anything else. Because I don't feel as though like I've never, obviously, kids, all the rest, I've got 3 boys, do you know what I mean, who I think in my head, I give them enough time and energy. Like I never like sort of cut it, do you know what I mean? Like when I'm with them, I'm with them, when I'm playing with them, I'm playing with them. Like every single weekend we'll always be doing something, we'll always be playing Monopoly every single Saturday night. As much as Jake hates it now where he's getting older, but it's just tough shit. Is there a cost to being exceptional? I love getting up early. I love fucking the marketing side of things. But I think if people are sacrificing stuff what they like, then they do. But I'm not sacrificing anything that I don't like. I don't care about going out and fucking go. Do you know what I mean?
I think.
Is that what you're trying to get at?
100%.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you obviously define exceptional, you are different from someone, and you're an exception. So
right. Okay.
By being exceptional, I think there is a cost, and it's not being normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not doing things that everyone's doing. Not even that you're better than everyone.
Yeah.
But like just that's what you're doing. So whether it's not going out, whether that's your thing, or whether it's, I don't know, maybe sacrificing not going on holiday for the first few years if you're starting a business. Could be literally relate to anything. So that's what I'm saying with it.
I think it'll only come at a cost if you think that it does. Because if you think you're missing out on these social events, or like not buying your new car every few years or whatever else, or like not going on holiday like for a good few years, like big stints or whatever else like that, I think that's personal. But then that person is missing out because that's what they think is important to them, but it's not. What's important to me is obviously getting people results, growing the business, being with the kids, and I fit it all in. It's fucking hard sometimes to fit it all in, but I do. But yeah, I don't think I've actually. Is there a cost? I'm trying to think if there has been a cost.
Yeah, just as like you're obviously thinking, I'll just spitball on just what ties into some of the clients as well. I think there's definitely a cost, but it depends what you want, because if you want to be exceptional, so if you want to get exceptional results, let's say you're in the shred at the moment, let's say you want to do a shred or something like that, there is going to be a cost, absolutely. You're going to be feeling like shit a lot of the time towards the end. You're going to be sacrificing them social events maybe, but it's all in that ball of wanting to get exceptional results. And it's not like you're going to sacrifice that forever, but I think to get better results or get the best results, you've got to have some element of sacrifice, and whatever you want out of it is depending on if that sacrifice is good enough or not. Like, do you know what I mean? So
when it comes down to results and clients' results and things like that, then there's not many people who are exceptional without having to give up.
Yeah,
do you know what
I think
mean?
it's unrealistic to say I'm going to be here without sacrificing something. It almost like sounds like really sexy to say, like, oh yeah, I've got this whole balance and stuff like that. I think there's no balance at the start, at all.
Of any journey, not
if you want to be very, very good at something, there's no balance.
No. But that's, but the only people who think that the balance is a, same again, the only people who think, like, say a balance is a bad thing is like the people who are wanting something more than the other. It's
not that balance is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I just think very early in someone's journey, first few years, whether it's in fitness or whether it's in, I think fitness is quite a niche example because you can be balanced in fitness, we know that. But like if you want to get that exceptional top grade result, whether it's in fitness, business, etc., you've got to be willing to just sacrifice very, very early on for longer periods, for periods that you don't know how long is going to last.
So on that, like, do you know when people say work-life balance?
Yeah.
I think only work-life balance exists if you don't like the stuff you're working on. Do you know what I mean? The only people who are saying, I need a work-life balance, it's because they fucking hate the work.
Yeah, definitely, and I think most people probably do hate the work.
Yeah, they do, yeah. It's like, say that person who's like a labourer, say 40 hours a week, right? Fucking I get that. Like, they need some work-life balance. They can't work 60, 70 hours doing that, where me and you could do 60, 70 hours doing, like, coaching people, creating videos, like what's quite nice and mellow, do you know what I mean? Like being in a creative space, content for the client, stuff like that. Like, the 60, 70 hours isn't that bad because it's something what you like, so it's not, you're not crying then for a work-life balance. But for that person who does the fucking hard graft, like, yeah, shit, like they need the work-life balance, but their job's like probably is horrible to them, but they think that's probably the only way to do it.
Yeah. So summary of that one is, if you want the best results, generally, for some sort of period, whether it's a shred that's 12 weeks, or whether it's a business that is like 10 years, there's got to be an element of some sort of sacrifice. Is that what you?
Oh yeah, 100%. But only, but then again, it's the sacrifice only if you actually want it. But then it doesn't become a sacrifice because that's the thing you want.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. So next one then, do you think that there's a set pattern or set number of traits that you could look at in someone and say that person is going to be successful?
They ask questions.
So that's a big one, is it?
So yes, they're 100%. So the people who, I always find that the people who ask the most questions are the people who, no, yes and no. The people who ask the most questions but then follow it through. This is better because we, like say from a client point of view, so we do get some people who just ask loads and loads of questions but then never implement. But then, like, so from, let's say, successful, just in my little tiny bubble who I've got, you ask a lot of questions. I can see like big success in you coming. Mia, who's like literally just started with us, she is asking lots of questions, and lots of questions what I didn't think somebody would, because generally be like, what should I do with this program? But she's asking sort of outside of the box of like different, like she's just popping out little questions. I can't give an example of it, but she's like just popping out like mad questions. It's like, you're asking that quite early on, which is good. So that's what I see in success. And the people who turn up every day, it's like people who turn late into things I never see success with. Like people who turn up late for little things, like whether it's a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's like, that's a pattern of, I don't know. Yeah, that would be me.
That's like the 3 gold standard for yourself is asking questions with action, consistency, and what was the last one?
Time. Time management. Yeah. If the people who turn up every single day, like and especially that, I think the first one, successful people are the people who ask and aren't scared to ask for help. Because
interesting. Yeah.
Because obviously I'm from a fucking pit village. Do you know what I mean? And like to ask for help is like not seen as a manly type thing. But it wasn't until I reached out to my first ever business coach, like, I wasn't scared to ask. I think I was at a point where it was like, oh, fuck, I need to. But then asking that is like making that first leap from there has opened so many doors where, like, I'll not be scared to just drop someone a message, like, who I don't even know. Like, oh, how have you done that? Blah, blah, blah. How have you done this? Or just get in touch with someone, do you know what I mean? And reach out to people. So, yeah.
So, again, maybe ties in. Do you think that it's bad to be someone with extremely high standards / perfectionist?
Yes and no. Yes, because you could have gotten the job done faster. Like, I don't know, say right, we're going to create a brand new program in here, we're going to call it fucking Matty's Box Fit. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a conditioning program around that. And you spend 3 months on writing the program, fucking making sure everything was right, testing it, and then getting all the nutrition elements down, and then it was like, oh, still not ready. But you could have just said, just put a post out there, I'm doing this in a few weeks, who wants to try it? And then you just sell it, and then just build on it as it goes. So you've missed the sort of boat at the start. If you're not a perfectionist, if you are a perfectionist, you're going to miss out on the front end type stuff. I don't know, it's a bit yin. It's a bit.
That really reminds me of something. So there's a really good example. It's like a metaphor. So there's 2 classes. One is told to make the best vase. It's a pottery class. The best vase ever. Spend 3 months doing it.
Are you sure this isn't a photo thing?
It's not. It might be another example, but it's definitely pottery.
Yeah, okay.
the best vase possible.
Yeah.
Another class is told to make as many as they can.
Yeah.
In 3 months, the one who had the better vase was the ones who did as many as they can. So being a perfectionist doesn't necessarily get the best outcome, because in doing action, you're going to be getting better at it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But it's like a happy medium, I think, which is like, you can't be too, let's think about it later, but you can't be too like, I'll do it later. Yeah,
I mean, you can't be sloppy at everything. You've still got to sweat across the fucking small stuff. You do, but it's like, we'll talk in reels, okay? Like people creating a reel for something. Like, you could spend a month creating the very best reel, or you can post one every day, and that's 30 days worth of practice, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than that one thing from there. And that example, because I'm sure you must have listened to the same podcast as me, because he said the vase thing, and I was like, I've heard this about a photo, because it was the students who did, they had a year to do like the very best photo they could take with one, or you could take as many photos as you wanted of other things, and obviously the people who took the most photos got the better results than the person who just did the one.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a
exactly
metaphor,
the same. Yeah.
No, I like that, because I think in an ideal world, there's a third group who takes the best quality photos as often as they can.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's probably that medium that you want to be for.
Yeah. But you've had to be the person who's done the reps first, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do that always happy medium all the way across the board if you've only done one perfection piece, or try to perfect that one piece over and over again, because it'll end up being shit, to be fair, if you're just trying to create, because then you'd have to reset, because it would never be the perfect piece from the start, would it?
Exactly. Right, next one. If you could have 10 exercises for the rest of your life, you can't go outside of it. Yeah, I know you've listened to this one.
Just today?
10 exercises. Which ones are you picking?
10 exercises.
In the Barbell Club, which ones are you picking?
In the Barbell Club. For myself, or to coach, or for
yourself?
For
yourself.
For myself. Oh, mine's different, because mine's just going to be calves and delts in it.
Get some broad spectrum of like.
Yeah. I know. Right. Okay. So I think from like, I'm going to go for like what I would probably recommend to people as well.
Yeah.
Is probably for me personally as well. Probably so I'm going to think like all round physique, all round like mobility, strength, and all the rest of it. Incline dumbbell bench press. I'm actually going to go flat bench in there, even though I'm not much of a fan myself, but I think it's an easy one for people to do, and you get a really good feeling out of it. Do you get us with that one? I know some people are a bit funny with the flat bench press, but I think it's one of them moves where, like, especially women in here, when they're like fucking getting up to 50, 60 kilos, it's like, wow. Fuck the men. A few years ago, I probably would have said back squat, but I'm not going to say a back squat, because I think I love it, but I think it's still like a bit of a tough exercise for people to get it right.
Right, yeah.
Okay, stop saying stuff where you're not going to say. I'm looking around. Chin up.
Chin up, yeah.
Chin up, just chin up. Easy.
Pronated grip, neutral grip. What we're going
grip.
for? Neutral?
I'm going neutral, yeah, because you get to hit your biceps as well a little
Yeah?
bit more. Yeah. Wide grip pull down.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like a good squeeze on that one. And obviously for the people who can't do a wide grip chin up, it's going to help more. You want a thick back. What else? Right, so I've got to get legs. I'm going to say reverse lunges, dumbbell. I know, and
Everyone's laughing like.
Well, exactly. and the thing is, I hate them, but it's such a. Yet again, it's an easy movement for most people to do, and it hits so many muscle groups. Like if you did just say, like if you were in a hotel and you only had a pair of dumbbells, you would do 10 sets of 10 lunges, right? And that'd be a leg workout. You don't need much else for that.
I know you love your lunges.
Well, I don't. That's the thing. I don't actually like them.
Just like programming them.
I like programming them because they're a bitch.
So some sort of lunge variation, whether it's like a Bulgarian or something, just anything, any type of lunge variation.
No, specifically the reverse lunge.
Really? All right.
Yeah, because I think it's a hard one for men to do. Men hate it, but women like it because it hits the arse a lot as well.
Yeah.
RDL. Yeah, barbell RDL. Yeah. God, I'm reeling off the stuff I don't like, aren't I? Barbell RDL, some sort of...
Any arms in there?
You're saying I can only pick 10 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I know. Tricep rope, just nice and simple, just squeeze out. I think most people can do them. And
shoulders?
It's an easy access one. Shoulders, cable lateral raise, single. I know they're a bit hard to program in for our clients, but yeah, I like that one. Fucking hell, I wish I wrote these down. I know, last two. I've only got one legs in there, don't I? 2 legs in there, barbell RDL. I mean, calves for me, but the calves don't need to be worked as much. Sled push.
Sled push, yeah.
Sled push. Farmers walks.
Mint. I like them last two. Mixing it up.
Yeah, farmers walks especially, even though I know we don't program it in ourselves, and I probably only do it a couple of times a year, but I think if I had I could be asked to get them out.
No, but like if you had 10 exercises forever, you would want a bit of variation in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the functionality between the sled and the farmers walks are fucking brilliant. And farmers walks, like once you build it up to a good amount of weight, like it feels good.
Yeah, mint. I love it. Right, diving in more into the fitness style questions now for the last couple.
Go for it.
Just quick fire. So, go-to meal on a shred/cut.
Tikka chicken wrap.
Tikka chicken wrap, yeah.
Simple. It comes about 400 calories. It tastes great, and I can even put some peri-naise on there.
And go-to strategy if you're struggling for steps and you've been at work all day. The typical sitting down, get home. Would you get a treadmill? Would you get an exercise bike? What's your opinion?
We've only had the walking pad since Boxing Day, and it's been a fucking lifesaver for in the house while it's been cold. That would be a good go-to, but if you don't have one of them, you can actually march on the spot.
Yeah,
I've done it plenty of times, and I don't care if I've done it. I can stand and watch Netflix and march on the spot. Definitely.
How do you figure out what your goals are for you? So how do I figure out that my goal isn't to look a certain way, it's health? So how would I determine what health looks like? Is there a set metric? Is there
for me or for you?
Just a client? So
a client for health.
Yeah. So is it blood pressure readings? Is it feeling better? Is it more data driven or more how you feel?
Definitely more how you feel, because when some people say get in touch with us and they're saying they're getting out of breath going up the stairs, imagine 3 months later you're running up the stairs.
So it's very much you can see it. I think it is a tricky one, health, because it's you can do data of has your blood pressure improved, as it went more towards the normative data, but it's also can you run up the stairs now? Can you run around the park with your kids and not be out of breath? Stuff like that. So the simple stuff.
Very simple stuff. Yeah, it's if when you've got the clients coming in here for the Carnage program, it's the first day they can't even do a kneel and press up. Do you know what I mean? Or just doing half reps, but then in a few weeks' time they're doing a couple of full reps. Like it's maybe still on the knees, but it's like where they could only get halfway down, halfway up. They're getting all the way down, all the way up. Like, because you know how much people die on the first day, but then like you see them in a few weeks. There's one woman on the night with you. I'm forgetting her name. I think she's got a bit of a bandage on her hand at the minute.
Carrie.
Yeah. So on like obviously her first day, very out of breath, all the rest of it, and watching her last night was like, fuck me. And that's only been since Jan, so like 2 months.
Yeah.
6, 7 weeks even. Yeah, about 7 weeks. So it's like I was watching her last night. It was like, wow, like she looks as though she's done it for ages, but she hasn't. 7 weeks.
It's not a long time, is it?
Yeah. I thought she was going to kill us on her first session. Like, I remember her face. Like, fucking, what are you doing?
Some clients just have that face, don't they? You figure them out over time, but like they look like they want to hurt you all the time.
Yeah.
But they're just like.
But that in itself, like 3. Does she come 3 times a week, 4 times a week? Or
yeah, consistently 3, 4 times.
Yeah. So like even if you think that's what 3 times, well say 4 even at a maximum, 4 times 7. So she's only been to 28 sessions.
An important one, especially for this client here, is not afraid to ask for help as well. Struggling on an exercise, say, look, can you maybe take a bit of weight off? Look, can you change this out? And then over time, it's not that she's like copping out, she's doing it to then the next week actually giving it a go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's a really good thing.
What weight did you have on the sled for her last night?
Well, 220s.
So 40. I remember on the first session, she had nothing on the sled, and now she's got 40 kilos. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, look, there's a fucking marker there. So it's like that kind of health marker. Like, how can that not be healthy?
Right, last couple. Not necessarily like top 3, but like few traits that are common in a good client, like absolute perfect client. What's the top common traits that you want to see?
That they do everything in silence. So they're not the ones who are shouting about what recipe is the best, what proteins are the best or anything like that. They're just doing it in the background. Like, do you know what I mean? Or not? Like, because there's a lot of people who's like this recipe, or what's the best recipe? What's it like? People shouting about, and then you've got the people who are like just silent in the background. They've, like you say, watch this video. They just watch it and implement. So that's one. Obviously turn up. 2, doesn't whinge about when they don't lose weight. They step on the scales and gone, yep, I know what I did at the weekend. Not, why have I not lost weight? For the people who say, why have I not lost weight? Haven't still got the understanding of it all. Because all the people who like know that they haven't lost weight, it's like, okay, well, I wasn't in a calorie deficit. And that's it. They're not blaming anybody else. They don't play the blame game, basically. Yeah. So they're non-blame game, turn up and silent.
What about the opposite, worst clients?
Oh, fucking hell, Matty.
Or even just one thing for the worst.
It'd be probably the opposite of that, wouldn't it?
Just the opposite.
It would be the opposite of that. The people who just come once, twice a week, but then they are always saying, why aren't I losing weight? And they say, like they'll track Monday to Wednesday properly, Thursday and Friday will be half days, weekend will be none, weigh themselves in on a Monday, and then like, oh, I haven't lost weight. Like, where's all the data? I said, well, I didn't think it'd be much. I mean, somebody not so long ago said to one of the coaches, like, didn't realise how to track alcohol. But it's not their fault.
No,
that's
not.
the thing. That's not their fault. But it's. I think the people who just expect to do the minimum but get the maximum results. So it's like even when you're saying minimum of 10,000 steps, like they'll probably get 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and it'll be like 9,900, so they'll do that last 100 there and then just always hitting that bare minimum type things when it's like, if you want the maximum results, fucking push that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that's it.
Thank you very much.